So in this video, I had the opportunity to go speak at the Dallas Millennials Club. It was an awesome opportunity to get to, one, do kind of my first big speaking engagement like that. I've never really spoken, I guess, in front of a couple hundred people, which was really, really cool to do. And not only that, but also do it with other professionals in the industry for different restaurants. And, one guy was a celebrity chef who beat Bobby Flay, and just other really good, talented, restaurateurs and chefs and individuals in the industry. So that's what this video is about. It's not the whole speaking event because that was a couple hours, but just a little overview of my first speaking event that I got to do. So that's what this video is about. So check it out. Hope you enjoy.
How's the food so far? I saw it fly pretty fast. Oh.
Cafe Express is amazing. Free meal for this gentleman.
Okay, so we'll start with you, Andrew, and what I want you to do is just introduce yourself, give us your title, and then I'm going to put you on the spot. If you had to be, you're going to be my drink guy. So if you were a certain drink, you describe yourself as one drink, what would it be? And you guys are my food, so you're going to tell me what food, of course, you would be. All right, go ahead. Introduce yourself and tell us a little, 2 seconds about who you are.
Yeah, so my name is Andrew Welker. I have a bit of a real estate background for many years, but I was fortunate enough recently to be in on Deep Ellum Distillery. So we just launched recently. Actually, this week we're putting down our first barrels of Texas Irish whiskey, which is the first Texas. This is the first Irish whiskey we know being made in Texas. So that's kind of cool. Those barrels are being put down. Our distillery is in Deep Ellum, and I'm the co-founder. So John Reardon, good friend of mine, he was the founder of Deep Ellum Brewery. So I guess I'll be talking about beverages tonight, not real estate. What drink would I be? I mean, I guess an extremely dirty martini, just because I'm a vodka guy right now.
All right, Kev, you're next.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kevin. I go by Chef Kev. Background. Been cooking for, I think, about 17 years now, since I was 13. One of the restaurants up here. Travel. I went to school, Culinary Institute of America. Did 4 years in New York, traveled through Spain, Italy for about a year, worked for free, stage and stuff like that. Traveled, I worked for a lot of, and I used to be private chef for a lot of people. Some people I can't name the names, but I've done stuff for a lot of athletes. Let's just say Matt Kemp, Torrey Hunter. I've done stuff for Justin Timberlake, Oprah, Mariah Carey, stuff like that when I was in New York too. So there's a lot of stuff working through Hamptons. Came back here, was a chef at Kraft. Kraft was the W. Hilton Anatole Nana was Nana, and I was the executive chef at Ocean and Seafood Room. But then I started my own catering company back in 2013. Was doing that while the chef at W, big time billionaire family, picked me up from Ocean Inn and stole me away. Working for them for a while, for about 2 years, and then still was doing my catering stuff, but now I just do strictly catering year-round. Awesome.
What up, guys? Hey. It's fun. All right, I'm Julian. I own Bento & Son at Trinity Groves with my dad. 24 years old, from here in the Dallas area. I also went to the Culinary Institute of America. That's where I kind of got started, but actually I grew up in the industry. My dad's a chef, and when I was 14 years old, I said, Dad, I want to be a chef in your restaurant. And in his eyes, he said, he worked hard in the restaurant industry, so I wouldn't have to. So he didn't like that idea, so he gave me an apron and said, dish pits that way, trying to scare me away. And after it was all over, he said, so what do you think? I was like, Dad, can I come back tomorrow? So I did that for about a year, again, he was hoping he would scare me out, and eventually promoted me to a busboy, and I was super excited. And it's been, I just caught the bug ever since. So got the opportunity to go to culinary school at the CIA, got the opportunity to work at the Ritz-Carlton down here, do dinners for like Rolls-Royce, the Apple executives, and fun, amazing stuff like that. Just a little bit like me. No, anyway, so got to do that and work for Dean Farring for a little while. That was an amazing opportunity. He's such a humble celebrity guy that I just hope to be like one day. And then I did a corporate chef position with Denny's, kind of creating new menu items for like all over the country. Then I did some food science before opening the restaurant, and I was developing dressings for Payway, soups for Panera Bread, soups for Subway, queso for Chili's. I mean, just you name it, flying all around the country doing presentations for big chain brands like that. And then got the opportunity from Phil Romano to open up a restaurant at Trinity Groves called Beto & Son. I've been playing restaurant over there ever since. So that's kind of my little background, and all of you guys that have been there, thank you for all your amazing support. It's been a fun year. And for those of you guys that haven't, please come by, please see me. I'm there almost every day of the week, so I'd love for you guys to stop by and introduce yourself to me. So thank you. Oh, food, sorry, I forgot. Food I'm a mixed kid. I'm German and Mexican, so some kind of like, I guess, German taco, a little spice in there too. Some kind of fusion food, you know?
That's awesome. Hi, I'm George Haley, and I work at Cafe Express. I've been in the restaurant business my entire life. So I worked 32 years at Brinker International. So I was in finance for 20 years. I am a nerdy CPA, so I did 20 years in finance. I did 12 years in operations. I ran the franchise organization and then the company ops, where I had about 400 restaurants.
For a lot of us, so one of my big goals is getting more of you guys in here, into Beto & Son, and just collabing with you guys. I know you guys love content, and we got a lot of cool stuff, so that's one thing, is just kind of staying fresh. We've got a lot of new stuff we're working on, like I said, a vegetarian, vegan-friendly menu, but also we're looking at expanding. We've got a restaurant that we could potentially open in this year with another Beto & Son, and then another one next year, so potentially doing 3 more in the next year. And then lastly, just really being consistent. You know, it's very, in my opinion, it's easy to do things right once, but getting on, like what he was saying, the cycle, because you can go to a place once and be like, wow, it's amazing, go back and get a totally different experience, right? And I think that's super important. So I want to be the most consistent, choice that you guys have in your cycle of different restaurants that you go to. And to me, that's just number one. We can open a million of these things, but if we're not consistent, I mean, who cares, So being the most consistent choice that you guys have is my number one focus at all times, period. So.
It's absolutely true. Love that experience.
Yep. And this happened a lot. I mean, honestly, like consistency is key. I mean, that's what I tell people, we start taking shortcuts, people will notice it. So at the end of the day, when people come to me to go to restaurants, to go to stuff, if I know it's good and it's always a good, great food, great ambiance, great service, I'm gonna go back again.
Is Oprah a repeat customer?
Oh, no. Nah, she's very cool though. She's very cool. But she's,
Can we meet her? Would you come to the next one?
I wouldn't. Now, but to speak on the millennial situation, number one thing is...
I agree with also, man, the instant gratification of cooking and something tasting good, I wouldn't say I ever, really was hardcore depressed, but I definitely can think of some low times in my life, especially, when, my dad had a restaurant at one point and it got kind of taken away from him, just bad partnership kind of deal. That was a very low time. But I remember it's hard to be sad when you're gathered with your loved ones at a dinner table with good food, There's always just some kind of warmth about that no matter what's going on around you in your life, that at that dinner table it's almost like nothing else exists and it's just you and your loved ones. So I know for me, that was, kind of like an oasis away from that, sad time in my life, and just being able to cook for somebody and make them smile, A lot of, in my opinion, as chefs, he said he didn't really cook for himself that much. I really don't either. I love cooking for other people. It's a way to almost give back. One of my family's favorite things to do at our house before we had a restaurant was invite as many people as we could fit in our house. Cook for them, feed them, give them drinks, play the music, make them smile. And a restaurant was just a way of doing that with the whole city of Dallas rather than just, our friends that we knew. And so for us, that being able to cook for somebody and give them a good time, see them smile, that brings us joy, deep down, regardless of what's going on, in our life. So I would say that's cooking, for me.
So David, I think cooking as a therapy, if you think about it, you use every one of your senses when you cook something. So it's the sound, it's the feel of the vegetables, it's the smell.
Stuff, and then as far as our liquid nitrogen kind of came about was how can we make a margarita even better without taking away from the actual flavor of what you're looking for when you order a margarita. We didn't want to make it something that you're like, this doesn't taste like a margarita anymore. We wanted to enhance that experience, and so whenever you get a frozen margarita anywhere, usually it's some kind of powdered or sweet and sour mix that's put into a machine with some kind of tequila and then usually a lot of water is added. By the time it melts, you got this watered down drink, right? So the great thing about liquid nitrogen is negative 320 degrees. Alcohol freezes at negative 150, so we're literally able to freeze the alcohol itself. And it's a much more pure drink. There's no water added. We can use lime juice and agave. We don't have to use any powdered mix. And so it's just a lot more healthy, you know, when it comes to like actual what are the ingredients in your cocktail. Rather than, you know, buying the powdered mixes and all of those other things. And then the second part is about the, like, I guess, mocktail more kind of thing. If you're talking about like non-drinking, we try to make, again, all of our cocktails mocktail version as well. So we can make a version, you know, nitro, we can make version mojitos, and just really anything on our menu. So we didn't want to look at it as, you know, how can we make the best cocktails and then that's it. How can we make the best cocktail or just drink without, you know, liquor in general, for anybody who doesn't want to drink or whatever that may be. So.
We've got about 5 minutes left with you guys.
Too much as a restaurateur. I see myself as a marketing agency, and the way I make my money is I sell food. I think with this world that we live in, it's just a digital, like, branded world. You know, everyone will buy into your brand if you have a good, strong brand and that kind of a thing. So the restaurant and the food, like when we looked at the enchilada and how it was rolled, it didn't give us a lot of room for presentation. So he said, how can we broaden that canvas? So that's why we decided to make it stacks, because then we could add watermelon radish and avocado and different things, because it gave us a bigger canvas. So when we look at food, we don't just look at, does it taste good, is it healthy, and all those kind of things. We look at how marketable is it. If it's not marketable, it's not pretty, then honestly we don't do it.
I think that's what you said in that article. You want to make Instagram worthy.
Yes, Insta-worthy food. Yes.
Okay, so I read something the other day that some restaurants don't like when people stop and take photos of their
Oh my gosh,
like,
why?
wow, we want you to enjoy it. Stop taking. I used to get yelled at.
Yeah.
Like, is that? I mean, you're younger, so your mindset is no, please do.
Yes. Yeah. So actually, my dad, an amazing, brilliant chef, cooks way better than I ever could. But he didn't understand the marketing side, and so we always like kind of clashed before the restaurant was open. And so finally one day he saw somebody take a picture, post it. I literally found that picture that the guy posted right there on the spot. I said, Dad, I want to show you something. This guy, you see, he's sitting there right there. Here's his enchilada right now, and he has 10,000 followers that are all seeing this enchilada. I was like, do you understand how this works now? And like he got it real quick. He's like, yeah, I get it now, you know. Because it was just like that. I was like, you see the plate? Okay, now here's the picture. You see it's the exact same thing, right? And so I think it's like this world is so, like, Facebook and Instagram and all of those things is the biggest underutilized, you know, marketplace for everything. Just like your marketing person said, like, we're gonna do a Facebook ad and it worked great for you, I'm sure. So that's the way I look at everything. And thank you for all of you influencers out there that have come to the restaurant and have pushed us. I cannot thank you guys enough for everything that you guys do. And like I said, if you haven't been, or even if you have, like, please come back. I would love to work with all of you guys and just do anything possible to give you guys more content. And I mean, I love working with you guys. The Dallas Young Girls that are going to talk later, they did an amazing video when we first opened. It blew up for us, and they did an amazing article. So I cannot thank you guys enough. Dallas Social, all of you guys that are influencers, the way you've, like, helped us brand has been absolutely amazing. So thank you.